Okay, so let me start.
Sure.
On my project, I have two main parts, which is the script tag and the main part. Starting with the script tag, just a moment.
For sure. Take your time.
Hello, everyone. Okay, let's proceed. So, sir, are you there?
Yes, I'm here. Go ahead.
Okay. So, starting with the script tag, you can see the uh, the script tag here. You can see there's lang and ts, whereby what does it do? It enables us to, it allows us to write inside TypeScript, inside our script tag, for what I understand. But also it helps to prevent errors by enforcing strict types. But also it improves developers' experience, offers auto-completion and better debugging in errors on our VS Code.
Okay, but
Okay.
I have a question there.
Okay.
So yeah, why did you choose to write in TypeScript? Because yeah, JavaScript are is different, a little bit different from TypeScript. So TypeScript is actually a an extension of JavaScript. So it
Yeah.
is still JavaScript, but with more advanced concepts. So it's more complex than JavaScript, but it can do more than
Okay.
JavaScript. So yeah, if you check Arnold's project, he is using just JavaScript on his project. So that's why there's no lang attribute on his script tag, just plain script tag.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
What I understand, it the type safety first, because I understand that it ensures variables function and the objects uh, have the expected output. But also, for what I know, it helps in better code completion and debugging. but also it helps to define. It helps to define object and function type. Yeah, that's all, sir.
Okay.
Yeah. But also I read about TypeScript. It helps to work well with modern frameworks, like our framework here, Svelte.
Okay.
Okay, so I'm going to proceed with this part here on the imports. So on the import, we have different imports, but we will, starting from this part, our import book open, chevron left, chevron right, chevron down, info, chevron down square, arrow right, arrow left, heart, smile plus, frown, ribbon, check cycle. All these we have imported them from Lucid Svelte. As you can see them here on our on our project on browser. You can see this book open. You can see another one is here. Let me check the smile plus. You can see all these icons. We have imported them from Lucid Svelte. All these icons, we have imported them from Lucid Svelte. As you can see, a chevron right, chevron left. Are we together? Yeah, so these are the inputs that help us to style or make our project look more good. We have imported them from Lucid Svelte. Okay, so when you come here, import the calendar button switch from Bits UI. So we've also imported some various materials from some various components from Bits UI, whereby we have imported calendar buttons and switch. So in realistic, you can see the switch here. This is the calendar, as you can see it. This is our calendar, and the button, we've imported button from Bits UI. Okay, let's proceed. Import as alert. The alerts that we have put, it's from. Is Arnold here already?
Yes.
Okay. So we have imported the alert from lib components UI, alert index.js. So we have imported also, as you said, if you post our alert, as you can see our alert here.
Yes.
So
I
this is
have
the
a
input from.
question about that.
Okay, sir. Okay.
Where is that, or where is that import from? Can you explain it?
Okay. This is imported from ShadCN. As you can see at the lib, when you come here on our lib, the components, alert, here it is. That's why it is written here. This file specific for components UI alert. So we have imported it from Shade CN.
Okay.
Yeah. Um, okay.
So
So
yeah,
we have also
I would like
yes.
to add something to that, okay?
Okay. Yeah.
So um more clear information about that, so you
Yeah.
both of you guys know, is whenever you install a component from ShadCN, it
Yeah.
adds the component to your code. So you can edit that component. For example, the alert, you imported it from components slash UI, right? That's
Okay.
that's the folder where ShadCN will add the component that you install.
Okay.
So you can choose any component. For example, you would like to use, there is a component there called avatar. I've used it before. So for example, you want to use that on your project. If you install it, ShadCN will add it to your components slash UI folder, like that alert. So yeah, instead of inside node modules folder. Remember, right? All the packages are should be installed in node modules folder.
Yeah.
Yeah, but not ShadCN. That's the power of ShadCN. It's not getting installed in your node modules. Instead, it's inside that folder, components slash UI.
Okay.
The reason why is, you can edit the codes. So in
Okay.
when all the packages in node modules, you can't edit that. You still can, but it will, when you reinstall a package or run npm install, your edits or your changes inside node modules will not be saved. So that's the power of ShadCN's belt. It's inside your code, not node modules.
Okay.
So yeah, you may continue.
Okay. So, mm, we have also imported our get time zone and today from internationalized slash date. So our calendar is able to detect what date is today and the time zone which we are located because of installed this internationalized slash date. But also we have imported writable from Svelte slash store. We have also imported the scale from Svelte slash transition.
Can you
This is the list of
explain those two, if you can? The writable from Svelte store, or do you have any confusions about that?
okay. Mm,
Not yet.
I'm thinking about it.
Okay, okay. But it's fine, okay? That's the purpose of this assessment. So that
Yeah.
we will know what we have to work on, okay? Yeah. Don't
Mm,
feel pressured about it. If you don't know something, just be honest, and I can help you on explaining it. Okay?
Okay. Yeah.
So yeah, explaining that those two from your codes, I can see you have used writable on line 36.
Line 36, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So hold on. Writable. Create a writable store that allows both updating and reading by subscription. Okay. Can you search where? Oh, I see it there. So I can see there that you are writing a new value or a new date,
Yeah.
and you are putting it inside the variable selected date.
Yes.
I'm not totally sure why we have to use that, but it can work. The way it works is um, it
For my
writes
understanding,
inside Svelte store. So
okay.
first you have to know about Svelte store before you can know about that function, writable. So for
Okay.
example, yeah, hold on. Let me pull up my the Svelte documentations for you to read.
Yeah.
Svelte documentations. My internet is kind of cracky today. Or can you pull it up on your browser right there?
You have sent it. You have sent it.
I can't, for some reason, I can't open it on my browser. Let me. Docs. Okay, right here. I will send it to you. So, a store is an object that allows reactive access to a value via a simple store contract.
Okay.
Okay, it's like a stateful variable. Yeah, but its power is on when you would want to use a value from another component into another component. So that's why it's called cross component reactive states. Okay, so maybe read that after your presentation. Let's get back. Let's explain
Okay.
it in your project scenario. So writable, you can see let selected date is equals to writable. You wrote a new date
Yeah.
for selected date. Okay. So now, it's like a normal state variable, variable state, which you can set a new value to. So for example, can you type it next to that? Just press enter on line 36. Yeah. Try this. Enter. Yeah. Selected date. Just type the name of the variable. Selected date. Dot. Um. No. Selected date.
Yes.
Not select date with an ed. Yeah, be careful with calling a name. Okay, make sure you call the exact name. Okay.
Selected.
Yeah, selected, not select.
Oh, yeah.
Dot dot set.
Yes. Dot set.
Yeah.
Yes.
Then on open and close parentheses for the parameters.
Brackets or curly brackets.
No, parentheses.
Parentheses.
Yeah, the shift 9.
Parenthesis.
Yeah,
Shifty,
shift 9.
shifty,
Shift 9.
pembeni ya P kuna curly bracket hiyo.
Uh,
Shika shift afu curly bracket. Shift afu ile ije ile curly bracket. Yeah, hiyo.
like this.
Ile ya mwanzo ukishika shift inakuja ile bracket ya nandi.
No, curly bracket.
So you said about curly bracket
Parentheses.
au parenthesis. Okay.
Yeah.
Bracket ya kawaida.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, shift 9. There we go.
Yeah.
So yeah, for you guys, so you won't be confused with those parentheses. Whenever a word has a parenthesis next to it, it is a function.
Okay.
Yes, those are function. The writable is a function. That's why it always has parentheses next to it. You can see it on line 49 and line 50. You also used the writable function. Yeah, always
Yeah.
has a parentheses because it's a function. Why does this have a parenthesis? That's where you will write the parameters of the function. Okay?
Okay.
So you can write anything as long as the function requires it. Okay? So for example, the set function, you can see what it needs. There on the pop-up, you can see set, and inside the parentheses, you have to put a value which is a
Yes.
date value. Yeah, any
Yeah.
date. Okay, you can set it. You can try setting a new date.
New date.
You can copy the a new date on line 36. How you made the new date.
Yes.
Yes, you can just copy it. Look at line 36.
Yes, I can see it.
There. You can see inside the writable how
Yeah.
new date. Date is also a function, you can see, because it
Yeah.
has a parenthesis.
Okay.
So yeah, I think there's an error in line 37 because
Yeah.
remember date is a function when you are trying to create a new date. Yeah, there's something missing there. Can you guess what?
Tuko kwenye magari ya stendi ya magari ya kwenda Igoma.
So yeah, the thing that is missing there is on your new date, the date should have a parenthesis because it is a function. Yeah. There we go.
Yeah.
So yes, that's what writable is. It's like
Okay.
a normal variable, but you can use selected date on other pages and other components. That's
Okay.
what Svelte stores are. Okay. So next is
Okay.
the scale. So we're just from the imports, okay?
Yeah.
So did you get the idea of writable? So
Yes, I've got the idea, sir.
okay, what do you think? Where do you think we can use writable or Svelte store? Because we are using Svelte store. Maybe you've got an idea from my explanation earlier. Like I have an idea. One idea where we can use Svelte store is for the username. For example, you have a user, he logs in.
Yeah.
You can use their name on many different pages, not just one page. So you can
Okay.
put the name inside Svelte store. That's why it's called Svelte store. So you can store something inside there and use it across your project.
Okay.
Yeah, so because if you declare a variable in that page, a normal variable, you can just use it on that page, just on that page, not on other page. That's the power of Svelte store. You store it in Svelte store so that you can access it on other pages.
Okay.
Okay, and writable, the one you imported, is a
Yeah.
function from Svelte store which you can use to make a variable writable. That's why it's called writable. Yeah. Okay. So those are the power of that's one of the advantages of Svelte. And I can see you already used it. It's a more advanced topic, more advanced technique.
Okay.
Okay, you can proceed. So how about scale, the scale function from, I can say it is still from Svelte, but this time it's from Svelte transition.
Yeah.
I remember it discussing it with you.
Yeah, I
Do
remember.
you remember? Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, just yeah, proceed with your presentation.
Okay. So, okay, so this is an input from Svelte transition. When you say that the scale, we mean the scale transition. From Svelte transition, we mean that uh, it is a animation transition function that from that we imported from Svelte from Svelte transition module, and we use it smoothly on maybe we say it is used to smoothly scale elements and elements in and out when we add or remove from the DOM.
Okay, I have one question.
So
Question.
how it works? The scale
Okay,
transition. The scale transition.
let's hear Arnold's
Yes.
question. Yeah.
Yeah.
Go
Yeah,
ahead,
so
Arnold.
Mr. Richard,
Yeah.
I have a question. It's all about DOM. What is DOM?
Yes,
Okay.
great question actually.
Okay. From my understanding, a DOM is a document object model, and it is a programming interface that represents an HTML or for what I understand, it represents an HTML document.
Can you explain in your own words?
Eh,
Maybe yeah, just be comfortable. Um,
okay.
yes.
Yeah, for what I
Maybe from you.
understand, for what I understand about the DOM,
Yeah.
it is a document object model
Mm-hmm.
that allows us or our Java or our JavaScript project to interact and manipulate our web pages dynamically.
So the main function of DOM is two. When I use DOM in my web page, the main function.
The main function is to enable event handling. Example, we may say that it helps us to clicking a button, maybe to click a button and it changes the text. But also it helps us to support animations and transitions like the one we have used in Scale on our Scale transition.
Okay, so when I want to use the transition or to prepare interactive or dynamic page, I have to use DOM. Is it?
Yeah, from my understanding.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay, how about you? What is DOM for you, Arnold, in your own in your own words?
On my own words, for my understanding,
Yes.
DOM is just a way for JavaScript to interact with web page or some changing in my page. So that's all.
Okay. So yeah, this is great. Asking questions, making brainstorming. This would help you, both of you guys. Yeah. So maybe it will help me too. So,
Okay.
DOM for me, um, whenever your browser loads an HTML, right?
Yeah.
So for example, let's go back to your project, Richard, on localhost. So yeah, that is an HTML page.
Yeah.
Okay. But modern frameworks, or maybe not modern frameworks, how our browser processes the HTML page, it creates a DOM. So that now you can see that's a document object model of the HTML,
Okay.
of your HTML. Okay. So why is the browser making this DOM? Why do we need this? Why don't we just load the HTML in the browser? That's what we do on the older generations back in, like when the internet was first introduced and the browsing HTML was first invented. It doesn't have a DOM, it just loads the HTML in the browser. So yeah, that's why the older websites, older developers is just they are called static websites. Are you guys familiar with static and dynamic websites or web pages?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So yeah, static HTML pages are just pages that don't change. That's the most simple explanation for it. It doesn't change. So now, when the browser creates a document object model, the DOM, it makes it so the page is dynamic. It can be changed. So because yeah, the browser doesn't have the power to edit your HTML. Instead, it edits the document object model of your HTML. It's like a clone of your HTML, and it's just for your browser, the client's browser, for that session. Okay? So that's what DOM is. It's um it's an editable or changeable clone of your HTML. Okay, so yeah, it the browser creates a DOM, a document object model. Then the JavaScript can access and change the elements inside your DOM. So now on your project, that's the DOM. The JavaScript can access it and makes it so the page can be changed. So for example, try switching on the light mode. Yeah. So that's exactly the function of manipulating a document object model. So we can't do that on the older ways, on older generations of websites. The colors can't be changed, the button can't move, So it's not changeable. That's why it's not. It's called the static website. But now it creates a DOM in your browser so that JavaScript can manipulate the DOM, the document object model. Can you
Okay.
understand my explanation so far? Or do you have.
Yeah.
So,
Yes?
I have one question. So means that JavaScript cannot achieve it um, to change some elements that are found outside of the DOM.
Come again?
And it is like JavaScript cannot affect some elements that found outside of the DOM.
It can. Think of it like this. The DOM is a physical, or not physical, digital representation of your HTML. So outside of the DOM is, of course, the values that are not displayed. Okay, that's outside of the DOM. That's why it's called the document object model. It's the model of your document object. Or can you clarify your question? What do you mean by outside of DOM?
Yeah. What's I know DOM is like HTML document, is
Mm-hmm.
it?
Yes.
So maybe in your page of Richard here,
Mm-hmm.
DOM is containing head, body, is all HTML document.
Yes.
Okay, so okay, now I get a picture.
Everything inside HTML.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
And also, um, included inside the DOM is also the title. So everything
Okay.
inside the HTML, like, can you full screen your browser, Richard? So that there, on the tab, on the tab head, you can see
Okay.
that's the title. And for excuse me, Richard's project is just, it just says localhost. But look at
Yeah.
the other tab, like on Lucide's website. I can see the Lucide.
Yellow side.
Yeah, that's the title, Lucide.
Yeah.
So that's
So
also
that type
can
also
be
is okay.
manipulated, yeah, by JavaScript. So I remember about you, Arnold, talking about SEO.
Yeah, search engine optimization.
Yes. So yeah,
Yeah,
these
sure.
manipulating DOM is also essential in SEO because you are manipulating the metadata, including the
Yeah,
title.
method.
Yes.
Yeah, now I get you.
So yeah, you may proceed, Richard. Or did you understand my explanation?
Me,
Yeah.
I'm understand.
Okay.
I
Me
got
have
you.
understand.
Okay, sure. So that's the DOM is. By the way, Arnold, why did you think of this question?
Of course, on my yesterday task, I meted that things. So I I have tried to learn before in order to understanding well in my application. So I ask for in case Richard he don't know if he don't know or what. So for understanding,
All right.
yeah.
Sure, you may continue. So where were we? from your codes?
We are here on the scale.
Ah, okay. Scale.
Yeah. So, did you understand this scale well?
Yes, I understand, sir.
Yeah. Where did you use that function? Is that a function? Scale?
Yeah. We have used it on. Let me check.
Yeah, because that's one of the important. Um,
Transition scale. You can see it here on our carousel centered.
okay, so yeah. What does it do?
500. Is this the one, sir?
Mm-hmm. I think it's on the carousel. You're
Yeah,
looking at the
carousel.
buttons, yeah. Or in your page, where is the carousel? And yeah, I can see that the carousel doesn't work right now. Are you running
Yeah.
the server?
Yeah.
Yeah, the carousel doesn't work anymore.
Okay.
So, yeah, do you know where is our carousel?
Mm, the carousel was here behind,
Mm-hmm.
was just somewhere here.
No, on your page. There is the carousel on the codes. That yeah, right there. You can see the comment carousel centered.
Yeah. It's the one, sir.
Um, the our carousel is on the header. The that one, the what made you smile today.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, this is a carousel. For now, I can see it. It doesn't work because of changing our codes. But it was, and I remember that we put a transition from. You suggested that we put from bouncing, or it was bouncing some questions.
Yeah,
Our
that's why I
question,
said it doesn't work anymore.
yeah, yeah. Let me check. I remember we worked on it. It was working, and until we use the bounce in, we were using bounce. to bounce the questions that work here. And we imported, and the questions were here. What made you smile today? So you can see, this is the first question that we put on our carousel. What made you smile today? Who helped you today? What was a small win you experienced? What did you learn today? What are you grateful for today? What are you looking forward to? So it was supposed to bounce in the question. The scale transition was 500. Yeah. Let me check here.
Yeah, sure. You may proceed.
So what to do? What can we do so that it can work?
Come again.
I'm finding a way to figure out how it can work again.
Yeah, maybe we can work on that later. It seems
Okay.
that yeah, we have to address the issues in your um okay, for now just proceed with your presentation. So yeah, because I'm taking notes of what you have to work on.
Okay.
Yeah, just proceed for now.
So I'm proceeding from here, from our import scale from severity transition. So now we proceed from the import of on mount and on destroy from severity. Okay. So when we say the import on mount, all on this and on destroy, these are, we say that these we say that these run when the component is mounted. For example, we have used it here on our variables. Where's the mount? Research. So, as you can see here, on mount. So, on mount, so it runs the component when it first added to the DOM, and it used it to fetch our data, but also setting up event. But also it is used it for initializing timers. So, for example, here, once we from our calendar, we have we have on mount here, as you can see on my data to me. As you can see here, these dates, they are marked. That means that they have data that is stored on specifically month and year and date. So once we press them, it fetch data from our API and our you said that, sir, this is our is like our server or our API. Is it?
Which one?
Yeah, which one? The,
The one you said that we don't use API so that we can have or we can mark our dates on our calendar. You said that we use this as a server to save the events that we want them to appear on the calendar that are marked.
I remember that you asked if we should use API for entries, for gratitude entries, and I said that we have a mock data in our
Yeah,
codes
yes.
or mock entries, and
Yeah.
from the name itself, it's just a mock data that we can use. It's like an example data. So yeah, we don't have to use an actual database. We don't have to use APIs.
Okay, so for my understanding, on mount, it runs after the component after the component is first added to the DOM. So once we add the component to our DOM, then that's where on mount runs.
Mm-hmm.
You get my concept?
Yes. So additional information on mount
Yeah.
is the codes that is inside on mount will run when the component is loaded or mounted.
Yeah.
So for example, you
Okay.
used on mount on that page. So everything inside that on mount will run when your page is loaded. So I can see there that you have two on mounts hooks. So one
Yes.
thing that we can do there to reduce your code, to make your code more to make your code cleaner, is put all of those in just one on mount hook. Yeah, you can also put those two lines. The update theme is dark mode.
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
Yeah, you can just put that on one on mount hook so that you can avoid using two and make your codes cleaner. Unless you have a set conditions for it to run, or yeah, different conditions, they both have different conditions, then you can use other hooks. But since it doesn't have a condition, it just needs to load when the page is mounted or loaded. Yeah, you can just do that.
Yeah, I think
Mm-hmm.
Richard, you understand well. It's simple. Yeah. When you refresh your page, it calls that this is unmounted and destroys is like is life cycle function. So when you learn or when you load, it learn when you refresh or reload your page. It automatically calling this method inside these functions. May proceed.
Yes, exactly. Thank you, Arnold.
Yeah.
And same
Okay,
with
sir.
on destroy.
Yeah.
Same with on destroy. On destroy, it runs just before the component, just before the component removed from the DOM. So once we remove a component from the DOM, that is when on destroy runs.
Uh-huh. So okay. Okay,
Yeah.
yeah, you may proceed.
Okay. So we go back to our imports. We proceed with bounce in from svelte/easing. So bounce in, it is, we have imported from svelte but easing, the same as the same as the import scale from svelte but transition. So this svelte, come again. Svelte easing. So bounce in. This is when we say that we want our output to bounce on our codes. For example, on our carousel here, we want these questions to be bouncing in from one question to another, one question to another. So that is what I understand about easing function. It is mainly used with transition and animations. Are we together? Any question?
Okay.
You may proceed.
Okay, sure. Go
Okay.
ahead, Arnold.
No, sir. No, sir. We may proceed.
Okay. So yeah, I have one question.
Okay.
What is its relation to svelte transition? Because we have svelte easing, right? And svelte
Yeah.
transition. We also have svelte slash animate.
Okay. For my understanding, all these are sort of animation. For example, yeah, transition. Ah, Arnold, help me.
It's a vague concept. So I
Yeah.
would like to explain it like this. So transition is uh, a kind of an animation, but when you are transitioning to one component to another, that's why it's called transition, because you transition from one component to another. Maybe it's words. You transition from one word to another. Remember the
Okay.
scale from svelte transition? We used it, right?
Okay.
Scale is one of the transition methods, and you actually used it in your carousel. So
Okay.
all the words, for example, that what made you smile today, it will
Yeah.
transition into another prompt with using the scale transition.
Yeah.
Easing, on the other hand, is um, just a single animation. Okay,
Yeah.
can you look in your codes where you used bounce in, so that we can investigate where you have used it?
I remember we used it here on the carousel. Let me search. It is not here. But I remember maybe when fixing our codes we didn't. But from what I remember,
Oh,
we used
so
it on the carousel.
we are not using it anymore. Okay.
Yeah, we're not using it anymore.
So if we are not using it, we should remove it from the imports so that our codes look cleaner. Yeah, just like I explained, when, for example, a new developer comes in and starts working with you, he will see that import bounce in.
Okay.
So he will then assume that you are using it. Oh, Mr. Richard's using bounce in from Svelte easing. Now there would be a miscommunication, or yeah, misconception.
Yeah.
Okay, you may proceed.
So we continue with our import toast from Svelte Sona. Okay. So when I remember that you explained this to me, that when you click the button, a toast notification appears at our project, and that it is the function of this import. Once we click a certain button, it appears.
Mm-hmm.
So for what I remember, uh, you talked
Hey
to
there,
this
Jack.
to me. Yes.
No, go ahead. Go
Maybe.
ahead.
Go.
Oh, okay. You told me that this should be toast when for example, when we write here, hello, then put, we click the button. As you can see, it toast example title. That's the toast. That's the function of this import toast from Svelte Sona.
Okay.
Are we together?
Okay. Okay, sir.
Yes or no? Any question?
No any questions, sir. We are together.
Okay, so as the last import here,
Mm,
it is the import toggle mode from Mode Watcher.
okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I think this is the last that
Yeah.
I was working on, and I added it in last.
Okay, so yeah,
Maybe.
additional information about Mode Watcher. It
Yeah.
I was the one who installed that, so I feel like
Yeah.
I should explain it to you guys in case Arnold you would want to use it too. Maybe um,
Okay.
sometime after, maybe the later version. So Mode Watcher is a package for Svelte or Svelte Kit. So
Yeah.
from the name
Eh,
itself, it watches the mode.
Mode.
Yeah, mode or themes. So dark mode or light mode. You can set other
Yeah.
So
modes. Maybe you would want some other modes like Arnold modes. Arnold mode.
Yeah.
Yeah. Where everything is colorful. Maybe. So yeah, that's what Mode Watcher is, and in this particular page, you can see that we imported the functions toggle mode and set mode.
Yeah.
So toggle mode is a function that basically it switches between two modes. The two modes, dark
Yeah.
mode and light mode. That's toggle. And set mode, um, similar to toggle mode, but quite different because you can set it yourself. Set light mode, for example. So that's what Mode Watcher is.
Okay. Thank you, sir. I got you. So mod watcher is like package like other package flow bytes welty.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yes. So there are different package with different purposes. Yeah. Flowbyte
Okay.
Svelte is a package for components like buttons, like what else? Date picker, inputs. So that's the purpose of Flowbyte Svelte. We have packages out there. For example, the Mode Watcher is a package not for the components but for the modes, light mode and dark mode, for watching modes. Yeah. There are also packages that we can use for mathematical computations if we are too lazy to write codes manually, because yeah, I hate math. We can use do you love math, Arnold? Do you like
Yes,
solving math? I see.
I love it.
Then it's up to you if you want to use that package. Me, I'm lazy.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir. Got you.
So we have packages for that. So we don't have to write manual computations. They're like shortcuts. Okay, and if I
Okay.
remember correctly, there's also a package for um let me check what else for have we used. Actually, let's check your package JSON, Richard. So we can see all the packages and their I can explain their purpose. So yeah, there you have installed internationalized date, a package for the calendar. So there, its purpose is to shortcut the getting of dates.
Okay.
Yeah, we have functions like get local time zone, right? Do you remember it? Get today, so get today's date. Because if you write it in just JavaScript, it's kind of long. It takes long. You have to write a new date, then you set it today, set the time zone, so you can get today's date. But internationalized date shortcuts it for you, getting today's date. And I can see
Okay.
here the
Okay.
Svelte.js packages. Those are packages that comes with Svelte. Whenever you start a Svelte project, those are the first packages that you will see. It's already installed. Okay? Auto
Okay.
prefixer, I can't remember its purpose. Let's search auto prefixer package. Hmm. Oh, it's for Tailwind CSS.
Okay.
So yeah, it's for using the prefix. Like, do you remember the prefix? SM, LG.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, those are prefixes. And that's the function of auto prefixer, so it can detect those prefixes. Bits UI, of course, you know that package. It's a component package like Flowbyte Svelte. Similar to Flowbyte Svelte, yeah. They are There are competitions.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But this
Yeah,
is more
some
advanced.
developers love Bits UI. Some Mr. Tom actually loves Flowbyte Svelte more. Yeah. I asked him myself.
Okay.
But
Okay.
for your function, Richard, for the feature that you want, the multiple selection,
Yeah.
Flowbyte Svelte can't do that. Yeah,
Yeah.
so that's
That's why.
why we switched.
That's why. That's why I don't have it.
Yeah, Bits UI is better. Yeah, spit on Flowbyte. Bleh.
Yeah. Flowbyte is for slow learners. Like,
Okay.
Flowbyte is
Okay.
for losers.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, Richard. We are slow learner. I'm slow learner. It's okay. It's fine. We may proceed.
But yeah, jokes aside, Flowbyte is faster actually. Yeah,
okay.
Yeah, yeah.
but
We save time. We
it's
save time.
yeah, saves time. But yeah,
Yeah.
it doesn't have the function multiple selection. That's exactly why
Yeah.
we have to switch for that main reason. Yeah, for your, or
But
maybe
sir,
maybe
I have
Arnold,
one
you'll
question.
switch too. Do you need multiple selection on your date? Not right now, right? If I remember correctly.
But sir,
Yes.
how can you say that Flowbyte Svelte is more better than BitsY? Why BitsY is being backed by Shade Scene,
Shad
Shade
CN.
CN?
Yes.
Yeah.
It's um it's kind of different to, how can I say this? It's not backed by Shad CN. It's just the component that is used by Shad CN. So for different frameworks, I'm actually using Shad CN the most on my past projects, but I didn't use SvelteKit. I used Next.js as my framework, and I always use ShadCN. And instead of Bits UI, ShadCN for Next.js uses React or Radix UI. So yeah, it's more established in Next.js. As we know, SvelteKit is pretty pretty new pretty new framework. Yeah, it's just been released last year, right? October, if I
Yeah.
remember
Yeah.
correctly. Yeah,
Okay.
it's fairly new, so there will be more updates in the future to make it better.
New versions.
Yeah, they're still making
Okay.
it better. And Flowbytes Velt, it's one of the um, established component package specific for Svelte.
Okay.
It is optimized solely for Svelte. I think that's why Mr. Tom suggested it. It's very fast. It what is the term I'm looking for? It's in parallel with SvelteKit's speed, because as we know, SvelteKit is mainly built for speed. So
Okay.
that's what their selling point.
Okay.
SvelteKit is really fast. So yeah,
Okay.
I think that's why Mr. Tom suggested Flowbyte Svelte. Did I answer your question?
Okay. Yeah. You answered my question.
Okay. How about you, Arnold? Do you have any maybe suggestions or addition to what I said?
No, sir. No, sir. I have no any addition, but I get more.
Okay.
You're caring.
S-
You're beautiful, and I know you make a.
Now CLSX, what is that package? CLSX class name. It's for
Okay.
classes, but we haven't used it yet. Maybe it's for another package because sometimes a package need another package to work properly. Like of
Yeah.
course, Tailwind needs post CSS. I can see the post
Okay.
CSS on your packages right there on line
Yeah.
23. Yeah. And maybe it also needs CLSX and auto prefixer. Yes. So now, next I can see Lucide Svelte. You already know that
Yeah.
package. That package is for icons.
Icons. Yeah.
Yeah. And of course, Mode
Mood what?
Watcher. I already explained its purpose. No, so yeah. Other packages I can see it's for Svelte and Tailwind.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the TypeScript package, Vite. Yeah, do you know guys? Do you guys know what Vite is?
No, no, no.
I think it's pronounced Vit. So, yeah, it's Vit. But for some reason, Filipinos uh, read it like Vite, but it's Vit. So
Wait.
yeah, let me explain Vit to you guys. So it's a package. It's a modern build tool. Okay, it's almost built in with most frameworks. So whenever you start Svelte, there would always be Vite installed. Also React and also Vue. So it's a very common or popular.
Okay.
So yeah, what does it do? You will see there on the top on your package JSON before dev dependencies, before that list of package on line number 6. So yeah, that is the script. Okay. So whenever you type npm run, and you choose from one of those scripts. So does it make sense? npm run dev
Okay.
and npm run build. You can see the scripts there. Dev,
Yeah.
build,
Build.
preview. Yeah. You can run those
Okay.
scripts using npm run. npm run dev,
Okay.
npm run build, npm run
Npm
preview.
review.
You can also run npm run check. Try it sometimes on your terminal.
Okay.
Okay. So whenever we run those scripts behind the scenes, that is what is actually getting run. The vit dev, vit build, vit preview. That's the actual command. So now it would make sense that Vit is the one running the server and Vit is the one who builds the project whenever you run npm run build. And also for the preview, you can see it there.
Okay.
Okay, so that's its purpose. Okay, think of Vit as a superpowered assistant. It sets up your project structure. It's it starts a development server like, yeah, like that one, the npm run dev. Vit is the one who starts the server. Okay. So yeah, I think we are done with the packages. So yeah, my point is different packages out there have different purposes. It's like a supermarket for tools. You can choose one if you found a good package to use. For example, me on my project, the Sound Surf, I used Wavesurfer JS package.
Okay.
Okay. So
Yeah.
what is its purpose? The Wavesurfer. I will send a link to you so you can open it. You can both take a look, or you can take a look. We can take a look at Richard's screen, just so you can understand my point from Discord. Yeah, there, Wavesurfer. Yeah, Wavesurfer JS is an open source audio visualization library. So it's a package for audio visualization. You can click on that waveform on the bottom. Try clicking on it. No, um that waveform, the audio visual. Yeah, there. So yeah, that's the purpose of that package. That's why I used it on my project, because that's exactly what I'm looking for my project. Make something like that using MP3, using audio
Okay.
files. Yeah. So yeah, you guys get my point. Different packages, different purposes. Maybe you can use one. Maybe you need a package for you to develop something more better, like more established feature. So yeah, that's my point. But guys, remember, if you use too much package on your project, it will run slow. So that's exactly why we have to remove flow bytes welt from your project, Richard, because you are using two component libraries package, Bits UI and Flowbyte.
Oh, but
So yeah, as much as possible, minimize your packages.
yeah.
So yeah.
I think that all that is I planned to ask the side effect of using this package. So yeah, I get an answer.
Yeah, the side effect of using
Too
two
much. Yeah.
two maybe of using Bits UI and Robert's Vert, it slows down the our project.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah, 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 yeah.
It is like using Sir Gregory here gave me an example. It is like using two screwdrivers.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
So maybe balance it out. If you think it will absolutely help with your project features, go ahead, use that package. But if you think that it would just slow it down and you don't really need that package, yeah, just minimize your packages.
So, sir, there's no any way to minimize that side effect.
Yeah, no other way. You have to balance your packages. Just use the one that would absolutely help you in your project.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's like mailing wives, Arnold.
Yeah,
Yeah.
just like I said, it's like you are in a shopping mall. So you see these all these tools that you would like to use, but yeah, just pick one that you um, absolutely need in your project, not the ones
Okay,
that
sir.
are unnecessary.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
I got you.
But yeah, my
I
point
gave
is
him
so
I,
much
I,
packages
gave,
out there.
I gave him a simple example.
We may proceed. We may proceed. The time is rushing.
Actually, I have a suggestion to make.
Okay.
I will give you Richard. I have my notes here on what you need to work on. So before we proceed with your presentation, we can proceed on
Okay.
Monday, okay? We can stop right now. There is some things that you need to work on. I will
Okay.
guide you through it, okay?
Okay.
Okay, so first you need to establish your knowledge about JavaScript and HTML.
Okay.
Oh, let me tell you the most important concept that you need to learn. You need to be aware um, of your codes. So, for example, on your imports, you need to be
Yeah.
aware where you have used that import. Okay, because you are the one who wrote that. You must be you must not forget where you used it and how it functions.
Yeah.
So next, you need to work on your JavaScript. Basically, the fundamentals of JavaScript. What are functions? What are variables? I will give you some materials to work with. Okay.
Okay.
You can take your project as a reference. Maybe work on your. Don't make changes yet to your project. Work on
Okay.
understanding everything in your project. What is this? What is that? How does this function? You need to work on that. Don't worry, I will give you materials that you will need to establish your knowledge. Okay, and I would like to emphasize, guys, during these sessions or the purpose of these daily sessions is for me to know and ask about your progress, right?
Right.
So you can be 100% honest with me.
Okay.
So I can do everything in my power to help you. Okay? Because I can't help you if I don't know what's going on. Okay?
Yeah.
Okay.
So you can message me, private message. Maybe you're embarrassed in talking about it in front of Mr. Tom. Okay? So don't worry, I'm also embarrassed sometimes.
Okay.
Okay, so yeah, you can message me in a private message. So when you need help about something, but you don't need to embarrass, okay? We're here to help each other. You might also help me,
Yeah.
right? Maybe on my project, you can be my lead developers on SoundSurf. I will provide my project updates to you guys. Like
Okay.
Arnold, he provided me with some tips on how to improve my project.
Okay.
Okay. So yeah, we are a team. We are here to help each other, okay? So you can be 100% honest with me what you are um, confused about, what you are um, where is it difficult for you to understand? I will help you with all of my power. Okay?
Okay.
Okay, sir. I got you.
Okay, sure. So
Yeah.
yeah,
Sometimes,
uh-huh.
sometimes I know where exactly the code is used, but how to explain it? Sometimes it is very difficult explanation.
Okay.
Yeah,
So
that is the only challenge.
okay. I have one question. Do you guys use Chat GPT
Day.
or any AI for your codes?
For my side, guys, yeah, I said earlier, I always use this AI for knowledge, for understanding. Maybe I want to do something in my page, my web. So if I try my best and I failed, I ask ChatGPT for a concept in order to apply in my coding. So after that, I coding my VS Code
Okay.
because they're using some AI, especially cloud. Since you taught us about cloud,
Uh,
Yeah.
I'm using for understanding.
yeah.
Yeah.
So one thing about using AI in your codes. So here's my tip to you guys. I also use AI. I use it every day for my one example is my project for Mr. Tom, the sound surf. I also
Okay.
use AI for developing it. It boosts my productivity and it speeds up the development. But if you don't know how to write codes,
Right. Code.
yeah, you will get lost.
Yeah.
So from as time goes on, if you use AI and make changes to your project and then make changes again to your project using AI and you don't know what's going on,
Yeah.
um, there will um, there will come there is a the time will come where you don't know how to fix your project.
Yeah.
You will not know what is happening right here, what is happening right there.
Mm.
You will get lost. So maybe here's what I suggest. Okay, never use AI for writing codes. Use AI to make them explain something. You can ask, "Hey, what does this do? What does that do?"
Okay.
But for now, write your own codes, okay?
Okay,
It
sir.
might it might be slower, of course, because you are the one writing the code, not AI, but it will really help you in the long run. Yeah.
Okay.
It will make it so you can write more efficiently. Like for example, here's a good example. Maybe we are on a competition, developer competition, and we have our other opponents. They're like you guys. They started from scratch. They started from not being able to write codes, and they have their own mentor. Maybe we'll call their mentor Mark. They also a team of three, and I am your mentor, right? So if you do what I suggest, that for now, write your own codes. Don't use AI for the codes. But them on the our opponents, from the start they are using AI, right? So
Yeah.
imagine, of course, they will build websites much faster than us because we are writing our own codes. But
Okay.
imagine this: 1 or 2 years later, their website is going to be a wreck. a mess and they don't know how to fix it. But now, you both can write efficiently, very fast, maybe faster than AI, because at first you wrote your own codes even when it's slower. But there comes a time that their project is going to be a mess and they don't know how to fix it. But you guys, you are the most established developer there, being able to write codes more efficient than AI. So that's my goal for you guys. Okay, that's my only tip. Okay, because when I first started back in um 2021, 2020, AI is not yet um it's there but it's not popular. I haven't heard of AI yet back in those years. So I started as a developer who writes his own code. Yeah. I think that would be the bad side effect for today's developer is they rely too much on AI. So yeah,
Yeah,
that's
I
my
remember
only
also.
tip for you.
Yes.
Yeah. That I said that's my tip for you guys. And it's a really helpful tip.
Yeah.
Make
I
sure
remember also
you
when I was
go ahead, Richard.
I remember also when I was graduating from university,
Mhm.
we were not using AI because we were using our own knowledge.
Yes,
So
exactly.
I, I came to first heard chat chat GPT that it can also help in codes when Mr. Tom introduced it to me.
Mhm.
He told me that I can use it in asking concept about a certain matter,
Yes.
but not using it in coding.
So
Yeah,
yeah.
that's all I understand because ChatGPT or other AI tools back in 2020 when I was graduating, they were not there.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Okay.
Did you
maybe
graduate from
maybe
2020?
yeah, I graduated on the year 2020.
Okay.
So, by the way, I have my project about soft drink application is mobile application. I did in my last
Mhm.
final exam of my bachelor. So it's all about mobile application. So I use the Android Studio.
Mhm.
Yeah. So I think one day I share to you to
Okay,
see
sure.
what
Can't wait.
I did. You can't wait. I will. I presently to in front of some lectures, doctors, professor. Uh, yeah.
Okay.
Professor. Yeah,
So yeah,
presented.
yeah, that's my tip. Okay, guys, you should. I suggest that you do it that way because I've seen developers today, other developers, Filipino developers actually.
Okay.
I've seen them that they are very reliant on AI. Okay, so
Okay.
yeah, and the codes that they produce are not that I'm not satisfied with their outputs. Back when I was working for other clients, I worked with other developers who are very reliant with AI, and I was the one who is fixing their mess.
Okay.
So yeah, AI is a very powerful tool. Okay, it can definitely make your development much faster, maybe tens or hundreds of times faster, but only if you know how to write your own code. Okay?
Okay, sir.
Okay.
I appreciate you for wonderful advice you give us. So
Sure.
we'll never take for granted.
Okay, so yeah, Richard, you know what you're going to work on.
Okay.
Study your own codes. I'll give you some materials on to help you with your review and review HTML, JavaScript, okay? The fundamentals. I think you are knowledgeable with HTML. You just need to work on your JavaScript programming.
Yeah,
Okay.
CSS,
sure. He's
also have no problems with CSS. I've seen you work with CSS and you
Okay.
work really good. Just the JavaScript functions and fundamentals.
Okay.
Okay, so yeah, that's it for today's meeting. Do you guys have additional questions? I'll stop the recording.